everyone, this is Matt from Tea Angle and welcome to the first video in our Teapository channel. We've been talking about doing something like this with the team for a long time now and we're really excited to finally be able to get this up and running. We have a lot of content lined up for you tea lovers out there and we just can't wait to share everything that we have with you guys. We're not only going to be talking about things like flavor profiles, different teas, and we're not only going to just be tasting and brewing a whole bunch of different teas that we come across. We're also going to be sharing a lot of our journey with you guys. We'll be giving you tips and tricks on brew methods and how to get the most out of high quality Chinese loose leaf teas. We'll also be sharing a lot of our journey with you guys. We travel a lot to plantations in China. We work directly with a lot of farmers and producers over there. They share with us a lot of things like history, the culture behind the teas that they make. We get an in-depth look behind the processes that they go through in order to make the tea that you drink, and we can't wait to share a lot of that stuff with you guys out there. Hopefully you guys find this content really interesting, and that's enough blabbing from me for now. Let's get into what you guys came here for, and that's the tea. So today I'll be giving you a really brief introduction to Dancong teas, which is one of our favorites here at Tea Angle. So Dancong is a oolong tea from the Guangdong province in China. It's grown around the mountains of Chaozhou, and it's one of the four main types of oolong teas that are available. So you have Dancong teas, you have Tiguanyin, Wuyi rock teas, and Taiwanese oolongs. Those are the four main types of oolong teas. And what makes Dancong so special, and one of the reasons why we love it so much, is it's all the different aroma varieties that are available. Each aroma variety has its own kind of unique flavor profile as well. And so with such great breadth and depth of tea here, it's one of the reasons why we love this type of tea so much. There is said to be over 200 different aroma varieties within Dancong, but all of them can be roughly categorized into three main categories. So you have the floral types, the herbal types, and the fruity types. And today here I've got one example from each of the different types. And so what I'll be doing is I'll be brewing some of these up today. And just describing some of the different flavors and the differences between the three different categories. So let's get started. I'll just clear out the area first so I can bring over the cups. Okay, so we're going to start off today with the floral type here. And what I've got here is a Phoenix gardenia, and otherwise known as Da Wuye, and that roughly translates to big black leaf. And so we're going to pop that in. So today I'm using 5 grams of leaves into this little gaiwan here. So what I'm doing is I'm brewing it in the very traditional Chaozhou Gongfu style. And this style of brewing tea, funnily enough, originated from the area around where Dancong tea is produced. So with this, I'm just smelling that now, and what I'm already getting just from this first rinse is a really nice floral and slightly buttery kind of character as well. Just take this out. That's my rinse. We do this step so that we can open up the tea leaves. And so today I'm brewing this tea. So generally with Dancong teas, the farmers like to brew it at a really high temperature, anything from 95 and above. But today I'm brewing this one here at a slightly lower temperature at 93 degrees. And that's because I really want to keep the aromas coming out, but I don't want it to be too hot so that it kind of stews the leaves as well. So it's a really nice kind of floral aroma there. And as you can see, it's a really sort of light kind of color. And it's a really nice, light, refreshing floral kind of flavor here with a slight buttery note as well. It's a really refreshing tea. It's a beautiful day here today. That's a really nice, pretty good first infusion, I think. I'm going to tip the rest out here, and I'm just going to try a second infusion, because with all the Dancong teas as well, they hold up really well to multiple infusions. Most oolong teas do, but Dancong does it particularly well, and the flavor kind of develops as you go along as well. So the first infusion I just had there was a really light kind of floral infusion. Those floral aromas are still there, still quite prominent. And before I do anything, I'll just shake up these leaves, and as you can see there, maybe you can see that. But that's the leaves there. It's actually, compared to like some of the other oolong, like it's a, I would say, like a medium kind of oxidation on this. It's not like a bright, it's not like a really light green like a lot of Taiwanese oolongs, but it's not like that really dark roast, like that really dark color like a Wuyi rock tea either. So I'll just try out the second infusion here. I'm still getting that floral, that really nice floral note, but now some of that buttery smoothness is coming out a bit further. And some of those lower, like sort of more depth kind of notes are coming through as well. So the thing is with these teas, the first infusion isn't necessarily the strongest. It actually gets stronger as we go along. With the teas like starting off really aromatic, and then as you kind of keep infusing them, it gets actually stronger and stronger before the flavors kind of start tapering out when you're towards the end. And when we say towards the end, I'm talking about like it could be up to the 10th infusion or so. Like these teas last quite a long time, and you can infuse them like for quite a long time. It's a shame, but there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot that we can still do. There's a lot of flavor that we can still get out of this tea. But it's a shame that I'm going to move on to the next one now, because otherwise we'll be here all day. So I'm just going to put that aside. I'm going to enjoy that later on. And I'll just give my cups a really quick rinse of water. So the next tea I have is the herbal type, and this one is it's called Almond Fragrance, otherwise known as Ju Do Zai, and it's a hard one to describe actually. It's a slightly more bitter kind of tea, but not in a bad way. It has you know, its name being Almond Fragrance, it actually has like some of the flavor notes of marzipan or almond meal. And it has a slightly more bitter, slightly more herbal kind of flavor to it. And I don't know if you can see the leaves here, but the leaves are much smaller as well when compared to the Da Wu Ye. So this one here, I also brew it at a slightly lower temperature as well. So I brew this one, I'm brewing this one right now at about 90 degrees. Out here. And the reason why I'm brewing it at a lower temperature is because being a sort of more herbal type and being a slightly more bitter tea as well, slightly stronger tea, I don't want so much of that bitterness coming through. Otherwise, it tends to cover a lot, like some of that almond complexity as well. So I just gave it a quick rinse once again to open up the tea leaves. Before brewing my proper infusion to try. So I'm sure you guys might have some questions about why I'm brewing tea in this particular way and what the Chao Zhou Kung Fu style, you know, sort of how you brew tea this way. I'll go a little bit more in depth into this style of brewing in a future video. But I find this style of brewing is the best way to enjoy Dancong tea, because you're able to really appreciate the aromas and also appreciate how the flavor develops over multiple infusions. So with this one here, as I'm spinning the gaiwan, and there's not as much of an aroma as like the previous tea, but there's still a nice kind of sweetness coming through. As you can see, the leaves are much smaller, but it's still classified as a Dancong tea as well. So, and the liquor, as you can see, is also a little bit darker as well. So I'm just going to try some of that now. So I think in this case, I may have brewed it a little bit lighter. What I normally get with this tea is a bit of a bitterness, and I'm not getting that at the moment. However, there's still that nice complexity and that nice finish that comes with it. It's a very smooth finish. This tea here, so I'll try a second infusion here, brewing it just a little bit stronger so I can get some of that bitterness out. With this particular tea, the farmers of Chaozhou, they really love this tea and they really consider it like one of their, we find to be, it's one of their favorites. It's not our particular favorite, but it's still one that we like to enjoy every now and then. There we go. The second infusion, that bitterness is now starting to come through. That sort of marzipan and that kind of slight herbal note is now starting to come through. So as I was saying before, as you go along with the infusions, the flavors tend to get a bit stronger. So that, once again, I'm going to put aside so that I can enjoy that a little bit later. So the final one we're going to move on to now is the fruity type, and what we have here is a Phoenix Honey Orchid or Milanxiang, and this is probably our favorite type of Dancong here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to brew it. So I've got my kettle temperature. I'm just going to rinse my cups out first, just to remove some of the previous flavors there. And I'm just going to boil. I'm just going to bring the water up to temperature Just going to increase the temperature of the water up a little bit. Increase this one to 95. And what we find is with the Milanxiang, they tend to work best with a slightly higher temperature. It's able to, that higher temperature is able to bring out more of that fruitiness within the tea. Whereas with some of the other ones, they tend to work best at a slightly lower temperature. My kettle here, pop that in here. Yeah, as I said, this is probably our most favorite type of Dancong, and it's actually proven to be our best seller as well. It's probably one that a lot of people find to be, because of that fruitiness, like one that's easy to drink on a day-to-day basis. You get that really nice fruity aroma, but there's also a slight kind of, I guess I can say, butteriness as well, or a slight savoury note as well. It's a really interesting tea. So I'll just tip that out. One up. So the liquor color on this one is kind of really similar to the almond fragrance. It's a little bit darker than the gardenia. The aroma already, there's more depth in there. Straight away you get that fruitiness. There's a bit of a lychee character to it. Once again, that smooth kind of buttery note as well. And a kind of lingering fruity aftertaste. This is definitely one of my favorite types of Dancongs around. I'll do it again with just one more infusion, just to see how the flavors have developed there. That aroma, it's still there. It's getting stronger once again. That fruitiness once again is getting stronger. Slight bitterness is now starting to come through as well, which I actually quite like. But the key when you're brewing this type of tea is to not go too far with it within any one infusion. You kind of want that balance of fruitiness and bitterness, and that, to get that really, that kind of tea flavor as well. So once again, I'm going to pop that aside. I'm going to enjoy, got a lot of tea to enjoy later on. Alright, so that's all from us today. I hope you guys enjoyed our little video on Dancong. We've got a lot more content lined up on this topic, so please stay tuned. If you're interested in tasting the teas that I've brewed today, we've actually got a Dancong sampler pack on our website. Please click the link below and it will take you to our website and you can find out more. If you like the video, if you want to see more of this content, please subscribe to our channel and like this video if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. So that's it from us today. Until next time, see you guys.